Are you ready?
Alright, peeps, let's talk about this because I want to nip this in the butt. I really don't want to spend my entire off-season talking about Pistons on if this is going to happen or not. But if you have not seen my post on YouTube, you want to kind of hit notifications because I believe you do get notifications if I post stuff outside of videos. So you want to hit that little bell so that way you get alerted to that because I've been posting a lot of stuff on there lately. But that's besides the point right now. According to Bleacher Report, Demar Derozan plans to opt out of his player option with the San Antonio Spurs. And this really shouldn't surprise anybody at all. He's been anticipated to do so. I just don't know what the market for him is going to be. And of course, as Pistons fans, a lot of you, not all of you, but a majority of you have wanted DeMar DeRozan to come here since he was traded to San Antonio. And this is really kind of the first time that we've speculated him coming here in free agency rather than trade. Everyone thought we would trade for him. Now, if we can get him in free agency, this kind of changes things a little bit different. Because previously, when I've talked about if the Pistons should go after DeMar DeRozan, now there hasn't been any. Before I go any further, I got to clear this up because there's a lot of guys who are douchebags who want to nitpick everything I say. There is nothing out there that says the Pistons are interested in bringing him in free agency yet. But you know, Dwayne Casey's wanting to get his guys in here. My only concern is you watch the Lions do it with the Patriot way of bringing in Patriots players. I don't know if the Lions want to do that with the Raptors, but we're going to dissect this thing. This might be a little bit longer video. Anyway, as I was saying, the thing that was different was we were kind of centered around Andre Drummond, a guy who can't shoot the ball. Blake Griffin was injury prone. He could shoot the ball, but he's getting better. He had really one good year at shooting the three. He's getting better with it. And then we had Reggie Jackson, the guy who needed the ball in his hand to be effective. Well, Reggie and Drummond are both gone, kibosh, whether we like it or not. There's nothing we can do to change it. They're options, okay? Now you have Christian Wood playing the 4, playing the 5. He'll probably play the 5 next year when Blake comes back. So both of those guys can space the floor out, can go out there and create their own shot, are very, well, Blake's not too much anymore, but are above the rim players. Bringing in DeMar DeRozan with that would be kind of interesting because now you'd have to go out there and get a starting point guard who could shoot. Now, if you draft LaMelo or someone who's got deep range, I haven't scouted too many more point guards who have the range of LaMelo. It's very hard for people to get that, so not everyone's going to have it. But he'd be able to stretch the floor out. If you bring back Tony Snell, cool. He's in the corner shooting threes. You put Sekou out there. Sekou can shoot threes. He's been struggling a little bit, but he can stretch the floor out. You put DeMar DeRozan in there at the 2, or he could put a small. I guess you put him at small forward, and then you'd have Luke Kennard or Mihailuk in at the 2, and everybody outside of him could stretch the floor. So now that opens up for him to drive in the lane, which could actually make him be effective because he is a terrible three-point shooter, one of the worst in the league. I only think he's shooting like 1 a game right now. To be honest with you, I should have looked the stats up. I looked him up with a trade deadline-ish when we were actually talking about trading for him, and he was only shooting like 10% or 13%, somewhere around that ballpark. So he struggles shooting the 3. But with that lineup right there that I have given you, without adding any free agents, without anybody walking away, it's not terrible. I don't know if it would be enough to compete with Milwaukee or Boston or Brooklyn for that matter, because next year they're going to have Kyrie and KD back. I'm not sure if that's going to put us in the upper tier of the Eastern Conference. I mean, anything could happen. Injuries are part of the game. But we would be a playoff team. And I want a playoff team. I want to rebuild this thing right. But even though we lost, when I went to Game 3 of last year's playoff, dude, that was the most fun I've ever had at a game. And I want to experience that atmosphere more often. And you'd still have Derrick Rose coming in off the bench. People are going to go to see Derrick Rose. You're going to have a young prospect next to Sekou where people are going to hype up and want to go see. So, I mean, this could be a move where if you get him for the right price, which is the key of the game, you don't want to overspend. This is the first time we as Detroit Pistons fans actually have some money to throw into free agency. I don't want to waste it all on DeMar DeRozan, because like I said, he's not going to be a guy who's going to bring a championship here. He would get us to the playoffs, though. He is still a 20-plus point per game scorer. Only thing I don't like about him is he can't shoot. And like you guys say, it was LeBronto, it was DeMar DeRozan. He's not a clutch player. When there's a game you have to go out there and win, he's not really the guy. But here's the difference between them. I think in those situations, we'd have three options now. Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose, and DeMar DeRozan. You can mix that up so teams don't know what's going to come. And then, hell, you could use those three guys as a decoy and get Christian Wood and Oop at the basket if there's only like 2 seconds on the clock. Or you can run Luke Kennard off screens, get him an open look. So, there's things you can do here. I think now is a better time to go get DeMar DeRozan than it was for the Pistons. And that's why you don't do trades just to make trades. Because if we would have made this trade a few months ago, it wouldn't have made much sense. It really wouldn't have. But now, with the roster that we have looking at next year, it makes a little bit more sense to do so. And I wouldn't sign him to a 4-year deal. I'd probably do a 2-year deal. And then if he keeps playing well, you can keep adding him to the small ones. But I don't want to waste all my money on DeMar DeRozan. I'd rather develop some young talent because he's on I believe he's 30, 31, somewhere around that ballpark. I don't want to, get players who can't shoot the ball and rely on their athleticism at this point. We've done this multiple times. It's the same old story. They're going to get hurt. They're going to get a big contract and rarely play for us. I kind of want to steer away from that. But it would make a little bit more sense for the Pistons to go out there and do so now than it would previously. So I know a lot of you guys are kind of split on this. You guys either like DeMar DeRozan or you don't. At this point, if we got him with the roster we have now, I wouldn't be too upset. But the thing you'll have to do is, if you do get him, is make sure Luke Kennard and Mahai Luke still get opportunities, whether they're coming off the bench together or not. The thing that's going to suck is I know it's going to happen is if we do this, we will put a lineup out there of non-shooters. You'll probably see Bruce Brown. You'll see DeRozan. If Thon Maker's still here, you'll see Thon Maker out there. Those are already 3 guys who are not shooters. Thon's really inconsistent. Thon will hit 1 or 2 a game, but he's really inconsistent with that. And I think that's a hole we need to fill. So a lot of it's coaching. I know him and Dwayne Casey are still tight, so it's possible. It is possible. But like I said, right now the timing seems a little bit better than what it did, and that's the name of the game, man. If the timing's not right, you don't do it, and that's why you don't make trades to make trades. That's why Westbrook coming here when he was in the rumors, it didn't make much sense. We didn't have that many shooters. Now, like a player like Westbrook comes available, where he's not a great 3-point shooter, but you surround him with all this talent that can shoot. At least, I'm not saying they have to be like Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, but at least can stretch the floor out. It makes a little bit more sense now. Because now you got guys almost at every position that can shoot and stretch the floor out. So now you can go out there and get a guard who maybe is not the greatest 3-point shooter, and it would work now. So, timing's name of the game. Back on topic, leave it down in the comments, man. Do you guys want the Pistons to go after DeMar DeRozan? If you do, what kind of contract are you looking at? How many years? How much moolah would you get? If you do not want DeMar DeRozan here, let me know some other free agents that you guys want to get. Does not have to be a shooting guard, small forward. It could be anybody that you guys want. Just leave it down in the comments. And if I see some of the comments that I really like, it's getting pretty close to time to start talking free agents. So if you guys are ahead of the curve, I'll give you a shout out and do that video. Instagram, Twitter, DSA members in the description. Follow us all there. Links are down there in the description, like I said. See you guys tomorrow, Above the Rim this Saturday, 1 p.m. my channel. Be there, be square. Peace.